Welcome to my new YouTube channel. This is the first video in a series of videos. The whole idea about this series and this channel is that they're going to be relatively unscripted videos about the current software projects that I'm looking at, software trends in general, and projects that interest me. This week, the video is going to be about a board game called Boomins. This is the basic setup. You have black pieces and 4 white pieces, and the number indicates the height of the piece. The players go back and forth, white and black, and on a turn you can do a couple things. So you can zoom, which means you can move up to the number on the piece. So you can move up to 3 going forward, diagonal, or horizontal, or you can boom. So let's imagine a scenario where white is here and they want to attack black. Well, they can do that up to 3 spaces. So if white is here, then white could attack this one or this one. And then let's say white attacked this one, then the number would go down to 2, which would mean that this black piece could only fire 2 spaces. So this is visually indicating where all the white pieces can move. So this white piece can move up to 3 in any direction. Of course, if it's blocked, it can't move beyond that. So it can't move off the board here. And so white starts on this side and moves this way. A game ends if one of the players gets all their pieces off the board. So white moves off the board and the game ends. Okay, the winner is the player with the most points. Points are only when these pieces get off the board. Okay, so if this 3 piece, let's say, is here, it moves off the board, then white just got 3 points. Let's say the number on this white piece was 1, and it was right here, and it moved off the board, white would have 1 point. And so let's just say this game is going on. You know, white already has some pieces off the board, black already has some pieces off the board. It could be the case that by white moving this piece off the board, white wins. It could also be the case by white moving this off the board, white loses, because let's say white only has 4 points over here and black has 8 points. Moving this off would only get white to 6 points. So yeah, this is a really interesting game for a few reasons, one of which is that ending the game doesn't make you the winner, it's the number of points that you get to. So it's sort of hard to automatically think of a winning strategy for this game because you start at this position and you want to get past your opponent and get as many points as possible while they are also trying to get as many points as possible, and you can like fire upon them, but by firing upon them you miss the ability to pass them and get points down here. So there's a lot of balance within this game as far as getting points and making sure you have more potential than your opponent. This idea of describing the potential moves of a game is known as a game tree. For all 2-player combinatorial games, you can represent the game in this way. So if we want to make a bot that wins this game, we could make a bot that explores the entire game tree and decides the absolute optimal moves that will always lead to a win from your opponent's response. So like there's a theoretical path from the starting play to a win. For instance, from tic-tac-toe, the whole game tree is mapped out. So even with a small game like tic-tac-toe, we can see that there's a huge number of options. Really what makes a combinatorial game fun is that there's a huge branching number of options from any opening. So if we search the chess game tree, on this game tree, what are we seeing? We're seeing a particular state of the board, and then from this particular state, we're seeing a couple of different options of moves for white. In this case, the bishop moves from this place to this place. In this board variation, the bishop takes the knight. In this position, the pawn moved from here to here. The reason why people play chess and not tic-tac-toe is that from this game state, there are actually hundreds, I want to say hundreds, maybe tens, but tons of branches that go out. And while it's technically a perfect information game, mapping out the size of the tree is impossible for the human mind. The size of the tree is 10 to the 46. So what do we do for AI solving a combinatorial game? Well, we come up with what are called heuristics, a set of functions that decide roughly how good a move is. So a heuristic that could at least potentially win against a heuristic that never tries to actually score points would be a heuristic that always moves forward one, and then if it can, and then if it can't move forward one, it will try to fire. So we can, let's say that heuristic was implemented, we choose a random piece, we move it forward one. Let's say that same heuristic was implemented for black, we choose a random piece, move it forward one. And using this heuristic, because we only have this one single heuristic for each side, that would be the only function used in determining a move. So what happens with these more advanced bots is they will have a series of heuristics that all get considered when making moves.
That's it for this video. Future videos will be better structured. Part of the idea behind this video series is to incrementally improve through time, so thanks for hanging in there. On the next video, I will plan out the sections of the video and record each section individually, so there is better cohesion throughout.